What's up, everybody? I'm Flash. This is One Man's Opinion, the show where we cover just about everything, and today we're reacting to the Song of Durin, the long-awaited reaction. This has been out for a while, and I haven't had a chance to get around to it. Some of you may have noticed I've been gone for a few minutes, for a few weeks. It's been kind of busy around here. I learned recently that I am going to be a father in June, and so my wife and I are very, very excited, but it's been a busy few weeks. Just to clarify, because I know people will be asking in the comments, she's doing very well. My wife is doing very well. She was a little bit sick, a little bit nauseous for a little while. Had a rough few weeks, but I think at this point we've kind of got her diet and everything under control. She's not nearly as nauseous as she was. She's doing much better. No, we don't know what the gender is, and no, we don't have a name picked out yet. We are narrowing the list down, but she is just over 10 weeks at this point, and so we don't know what the gender is yet, so we don't have a name yet. Still figuring that out. But if you have any other questions, of course, you can leave them down in the comments. I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm excited to get into this. You guys know I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. This song in particular comes from The Hobbit, I believe. The Hobbit movies I've not seen nearly as much as I've watched the original Lord of the Rings. So there could be a lot of things here that I miss. Geoff and the team always put a lot of little, I guess you would call them Easter eggs, little details, little things in there, tidbits that I usually like to point out as I'm going through my reaction. If I notice something, this one I might not have as much to say on that sort of thing, but we'll see. We'll get into it. Who knows? I have no idea what to expect, really, and I'm very, very excited. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me, for being patient with my video uploads recently. Hopefully, you know, we'll keep them coming as we can. So, all right, let's get into it. Look at this setting. Look at this backdrop. This looks a lot like the mines of Moria. And that looks a lot like Gimli.
The world was young, the mountains green, no stain yet on the moon was seen. No.
I'm immediately reminded of Gimli finding the ruins, what once was his family home, and a line that he says during the movie about being the last dwarf that draws breath.
Let them come! There is one dwarf yet in Moria who still draws breath.
Starting with Gimli seems very appropriate here for what is without a doubt a sort of emotional song here.
No stain yet on the moon was seen. No words were laid on stream or stone when Durin awoke and walked alone.
Man, that depth Geoff gets, it really is like, I mean, it, oh man, hang on, let me just listen one more time.
Or stone when Durin awoke and walked alone.
It's more than just the depth of hitting a note. The song carries a certain weight to it. That depth, and then hitting and holding that note, the steady dripping, almost silence, almost like a deathly silence in the background as these kind of ghosts of the past kind of appear here. There is something, there is an atmosphere, a mood that Geoff is setting here. I mean, obviously the vocals are beautiful, but there's so much more going on. Costumes look great. I believe this is Fili and Keely, though I could be getting them backwards. I think this is Fili and this is Keely. I may have their names backwards, though. Those are the characters that are appearing here next to Gimli.
He named the nameless hills and dales. He drank from yet untasted wells. He stooped and looked in mirror, and saw a crown of stars appear as
This is pretty, y'all. This is very pretty. This is very good. I haven't seen the last costume really yet, but the costumes are amazing. This is phenomenal. I think it adds a certain element too because it's right the opposite of seeing the 5 Geoffs or the 4 Geoffs. Whereas you see this different versions of the same man. This is still the same guy doing this, but having him look so different in each costume breaks it up in a way that you can almost forget that this is just one guy. Like, it sounds amazing. And the fact that, it doesn't just look like Geoff, and Geoff, it's so incredible. You can almost become entranced with it. It just not recognizing that this is all just one guy doing this is beautiful and as amazing as, and we're very early. I know it's going to pick up, but it's really something else here. This could be Legolas here. It doesn't look like a dwarf to me. Legolas was in the Hobbit movies, but then again, Gimli wasn't. I don't remember, or maybe he had like a cameo. I don't think he was. Legolas was in the Hobbit movies. I don't know. I assume this is Legolas. I don't see ears there or blonde hair, so I'm not 100% sure who this is with the bow and arrow. And like I said, I've only seen the Hobbit movies a few times, so maybe I'm forgetting something.
One of stars appear as gems upon a silver thread above the shadow of his head. The world was fair, the mountains tall, in elder days before the fall of mighty kings in Nargothrond and Gondolin, who now beyond the western seas have passed away. The world was fair in Durin's day.
Man, the lighting, man, the setting, the sound, it all is coming together. This song's kind of heavy, I'm not going to lie. This is a sad tale of what happened to the dwarves here. Wow. But Geoff is carrying this so well, man. It is like strikingly beautiful, I would say. From the vocals to the lighting to the costumes to the story that's being told here. Strikingly beautiful.
Days have passed away.
The
The
lighting fall.
world was fair in Durin's day. A king he was on carven throne in many pillared halls of stone, with golden roof and silver floor and runes of power upon the door.
Oh man, listen, and I love the lighting change here as they kind of take you into the past and remind you what once was right here. And I like the mention there of runes upon the door. You think speak friend and enter Melloc, that moment there with Gandalf in front of the door with the Fellowship of the Rings in the first movie. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot here. This is really fantastic, y'all. I'm getting chills, legitimately getting chills.
Throne in many pillared halls of stone, with golden roof and silver floor and runes of power upon the door. The light of sun and star and moon and shining lamps of crystal hewn, undimmed by cloud or shade of night, that shone forever fair and bright. Chisel, clove, and graver wrote. There forged was blade, and bound was hilt. The delver mined, the mason built their.
Okay, we're starting to really get that pick up now. We're starting to pick up the energy a little bit. We're building to something big here. This is so good. This is so good. Did I back up enough? There.
Clove and graver wrote. There forged was blade, and bound was hilt. The delver mined, the mason built their beryl, pearl, and opal bale, and metal wrought like fish
forgery of all these different weapons and armor, the buckler, shield, the axe and sword, all these things bring into life this civilization that once was. Man, y'all, I'm serious. It's chills, man. It's chills right now. On an unrelated note, somebody get Geoff on a D&D podcast. I want to see him build a character. This is too good. I want to see this man play some D&D. I know he would be phenomenal at it. Everyone's good at D&D. That's the beauty of D&D. Yeah, but man, it's him in this environment here, man. It's a beautiful setting for him. He's fantastic. He's so good at this. I feel like I'm gushing. He's so good at this.
Unwearied then were Durin's folk beneath the mountain music woke. The harpers harped, the minstrels sang, and at the gates the trumpets rang. The world is gray, the mountains old, the forge is fire, is ashen cold. No
man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Hold up, listen to this.
it's rang.
No, hang on.
The world is gray.
Let's go back a little further.
The harpers harped, the minstrels sang, and at the gates the trumpets rang.
The harpers harped, the minstrels sang. There was music, there was life, there was community, talking about the forge, the weapons that were made, describing the hall, the golden ceilings, the silver floor, the beauty of this place. And at the gate, the trumpets rang as the battle that was coming approached. I believe is what it means here, because now we're going to go back in and he talks about the forge being cold and the life no longer being here. Man, it is sad. It is beautiful storytelling. Sometimes storytelling is a sad thing, but you take that as such a beautiful, any story that can affect you emotionally, even if it's a sad story, that's a beautiful story.
The world is gray, the mountains old, the forge is...
We start off with the mountains green, the world was young, and now the world is gray, the mountains are old. Okay, I'll let it play, I promise. I'm sorry. It's just, boy, this is so good. It's everything. The story, the singing, it's all so good.
Trumpets rang, the world is gray, the mountains old, the forge is fire, is ashen cold. No harp is rung, no hammer falls, the darkness dwells in Durin's hall. The shadow lies upon his tomb in Moria, in Khazad-dûm, but still the sunken stars appear.
A little bit of hope here at the end, to bring it back in, but boy, oh boy.
But still the sunken stars appear in dark and windless mirror.
Just don't leave Gimli alone. If they fade out toward the end, leaving Gimli alone again, I might actually have tears. Like, legitimately, it's so unbelievably sad that all of his people were completely wiped out. It's oh my goodness.
Dark and windless mirror. There lies his crown in water deep, till Durin wakes again from sleep.
Oh, they did it. Power through, man. Power through. And the dripping, man, the steady dripping, the silence, the uh, okay, y'all. I think I pretty well covered it during the actual reaction. Um, a beautiful, touching, emotional song. Such an amazing, beautiful story. Geoff knocked it out of the park. I'm typically more of a fan of the upbeat stuff. I like feel good music. So, I don't know where I would place this one personally, but when a song touches you and affects you in a certain kind of way, man, that's always going to hold a special place in my heart. So um, this one's definitely a special one for me, one that I'll be revisiting several times. Please let me know, not just your thoughts on this. I don't want just your thoughts. I want to hear what your initial reaction to this one was. Was it as, I don't know, maybe emotionally driven as what I felt during it? I don't know. I'm very interested to see if it was just my connection, growing up on Lord of the Rings, or or what it was, if it was just me or if all of you felt a similar kind of way. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all again so much for hanging out with me and always being patient with me in times where it takes me a little bit of time to get a video up from time to time. Thank you guys so much. Your support has been amazing, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next one. This has been One Man's Opinion. Thanks.